it meant something that was part two, excuse me. So we're talking about the pull-up report, and so basically, hold on, it's 4:44, and it's December the 11th, you guys, just so you're aware. And so basically, like I said before, the way that I always took that whole saying of, pull up. Excuse me. Goodness, ooh, that lady is walking terribly. Anyway, sorry, y'all. Anyway, so the way that I always talked about that was kind of like let's pay attention. This is something of like, high importance, or somebody would be like, oh, pull up on me, or come over and this and that and this and that. Like, come on over. But I never heard it being used in a negative connotation until later on. And I was like, wait, I think people thought that maybe I meant that in a very negative way. And that was not the case. Okay, so I want to address this now because I'm going to be moving on from some things, and I got some other things that are going on. But I also want to make sure that I don't pass that opportunity up to talk about that, because I haven't talked about that. There were three in particular that I think I remember. One was, it was kind of like something that had happened for a business or whatever, but it wasn't like a major thing. The second one was in reference to a young lady who had passed away, and we were paying homage to who she was, and she was a young lady on Glee. To this young lady's family, I sincerely apologize if you felt that I was out of line. Unfortunately, I was kicked off of Instagram. I was labeled a terrorist or something like that. So they ended up locking me out of my account, and I wasn't able to take it down. So that is probably why it may still remain. But you have my deepest condolences, and I'm asking for your forgiveness for posting that and not necessarily asking for permission, and also not really being fully educated about like what the current slang was, because I really didn't know. I took it a different way because I'm not really surrounded by negative people, and I'm definitely not surrounded by, on a regular basis, I'm not surrounded by people who are confrontational either. And so when it was the pull-up report was an experiment. As you guys can see on my platform, you can go to my platform and you can see that I'm really big on experimental projects. And so I did not mean to offend you in any way. I've lost people who are very dear in my family, and I would never do that. Not intentionally. Not intentionally. I have since learned that, because someone with no training, no media training, no journalism training, none of that, I didn't know. It was a complete ignorant mistake, and I do sincerely apologize for it. However, I want to say also that I have since been somewhat educated on the process, which is to reach out to the families, ask for permission, submit a letter, make sure that it's okay to speak on certain things, because I didn't know. I thought it was okay. Somebody sent it to me. I saw it. I copied it, and I put it on our platform because I felt like it was something that, the community that I was hosting, I felt like it was something that they should, know and acknowledge. And, it seemed that the young lady was or is still considered a very prominent figure in the industry, and I feel like maybe I should have approached that a little bit better. That has been something that has been on my heart for quite a while, and I've been meaning to say something about it, but I didn't want to say it in the wrong way. And I was waiting for a time where I could be organic about it. I didn't want to script anything. I didn't want to write anything out. I didn't want to sound like, some, wannabe publicist or something like that. I didn't want to do all that. I wanted to talk about something that was very sensitive, but also, I know that it was a very fragile time, and that was very out of line for me to do, but I didn't know that it was the wrong thing to do. And I hope that this apology is well received, but if it is not, then I understand. Okay. There was a business that I featured, and that business, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was the same thing. There were only 3 of them, if I'm not mistaken. There was 3 of them. One was posted. 2 of them were in our stories. And gosh, it was up there. I don't know if it was like over 1,000 posts that we put in the stories or not. I can't remember, especially with it being 3 some odd years ago. But I want to make sure I issue an apology to that business as well for putting them on the pull-up report. It was not meant to be a negative thing. It was not meant to be a confrontational thing. It was not something promoting violence or anything negative at all. It was simply being used, the actual statement in itself was really being used to get people's attention so that they could, because I was even hearing stuff that I hadn't even heard about. I was like, oh my gosh, this person has passed away, that person's doing this is going on over here. We had businesses shutting down. We had people going through catastrophes overseas. There was so much news at the time, and I just wasn't well versed in how to handle all of that. And like how people are telling me now, they're like, just do it, just jump in, just do your thing. And I'm like, but I don't, there's still things that I don't know, and I don't want to make any more mistakes when it comes to people, because we're very important people. Regardless, all of us are. It doesn't matter how you may make somebody feel like they're small. I have people make me feel small every single day, or at least try to, and we have to understand that all of us have a certain level of importance within our communities, and we also have a certain responsibility to take accountability for what we have done or said. And this is my attempt in doing that. In addition to that, I want to say that there was another one. There was a third one that went out. In fact, it was actually the last one that, sorry you guys, I'm actually putting this book back on the shelf right there. And this is funny because I actually had this book. That's funny. I actually had this book. That's so funny to me. The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. Okay, I'm actually, I might just hold on to that. I might read through that. But anyway, later on. But anyway, there was also a third one that went out. It was the final one that had went out. And this one was also a business. And it was a very well-known business and also a very well-known family. And I was able to tag some of the people that I knew that were in the family. And once again, it was something that was not necessarily sent to me, but it was something that was being featured on one of the people who followed us that was a part of our community. It was being featured on their channel, so I carried the story on. And it was also another pull-up report, so I wanted to make sure that I spoke to that as well, and I wanted to issue an apology to that family as well and let you know that I still acknowledge that that was a mistake that I made. I did try to apologize for that, but I understand if it wasn't well received because, like I said, I've lost people before, and I know how it feels. It's like, wait, hold up, you know what I mean? So, like I said, I kind of went over it when I was talking about the first one that I put out there. It's the same thing. It's like it really was due to a lack of knowledge. I was not trying to be included in anybody's family. I wasn't trying to, be acknowledged by anyone in particular. I wasn't trying to like chase any type of clout. I wasn't trying to. It was all done with no malice at all. And I hope that people can see that at this point, like how I create things in an experimental way. And, and sometimes it just doesn't sit well with people. And so I'm actually reevaluating how I develop my projects right now. I'm also reevaluating how I'm pushing forward as an individual. I want to get a little bit more educated when it comes to, how to put shows and things like that together, how to build my projects in a way that's respectable and also respectful to other people. Because I'm not really sure, like, what people consider disrespectful, because I'm a hermit and I'll be by myself, so I'm not really sure. I'm not a social person, so I don't know what's considered disrespectful when it comes to me acknowledging someone or, saying, hey, you guys, we got to look out for, this is our community, this is a part of our community, as Black people, and we need to look out and make sure that everything is, I didn't know anything about the culture. I still don't know a whole lot about the culture, but I will say that, I feel like maybe someone may feel as if I overstepped a boundary, and that's why I felt like I needed to apologize in the first place. That was not my intention. It was not. I would never do that, not intentionally. I've lost people, and a brother in particular, and I understand. Okay, so there was no disrespect at all. It was just me trying to do what I thought I was supposed to do in my position in life, and at that particular time, that's how I felt, because I was like, okay, I have this platform, I want to be responsible with it. There are people following us. There are people who are a part of this platform. Oh, that's so much better. Oh, I wish I would have did that in the beginning. There are people who, they have a sensor light on, you guys, and I haven't really moved a lot over here. But real talk, it's like I was trying to be responsible with my platform. And so that's why you see me, like, with my website, you just see me kind of like doing what I want to do. Because I'm like, you're not going to see me tiptoeing and all that type of stuff. Now, if you feel like I've disrespected, I will correct some things because I want it to be well received. But if it's overall not well received, but it's organically me, then, So I hope that is well received. I really do, because it's genuine, it's authentic. Wait a second, you guys. Hold on, because my little foot fell asleep. I'm trying to, hold on one second. Because I'm sitting here Indian style on the floor. Just kind of chilling. And I was letting my laptop charge for a little bit before I get on about my business. But no, I didn't mean any harm. I never do. I never mean any harm, to be honest. But I also realize that, when people don't know you, you don't know them. They don't know what you intentionally mean. They don't know if it's something you're trying to do underhanded. They don't know that you mean well. If they don't know, then they may take offense to it. And see, I wasn't well aware of that at the time. I wasn't. Okay? So, but if you guys feel any type of way about it, my contact information is on my website. And by this time, you guys should definitely know my website. It's iamtaliab.com, and it's iam-taliab.com, and you can go to contact, and my email address is contact@iam-taliab.com. And we can set up a Zoom call or something like that. I don't mind, but I didn't mean any harm, and I want to make sure I go on record as saying that. Now, there's another situation that has happened, or that happened later on when I was getting ready to I was getting ready to take a break from my platform. It was during Black History Month, and give me 1 second. I'm sorry, guys. It was during Black History Month of that year. I want to say, was that 2021 or 2020? I think it was 2021. I'm pretty sure it was 2021, you guys. Same platform, Beyond the Black Square. And I made a post about somebody that I truly admire. And not admire on some, clout chasing or trying to be a fan or anything like that, but this is literally someone that I really enjoy the projects that they put out. I really did. And it was a part of a really important time in my life when I was really trying to do something like cool, right? Like that I was really proud of. And I spoke on that person, and I put it in one of my posts, and I went throughout the history of one of the titles of one of their projects, all of which I was very proud of. And so I have a feeling that may have offended you, and I really hope that you were not offended, but if you were, I sincerely apologize for that, because that was not my intention. My intention was to highlight somebody that I thought was pretty awesome. My intention was to, talk about a project that I thought was very, very important at the time, and it still is to this day. It's like an epic, actually. I think you're dope, and I always have. And I think you have plenty of people in your family, but there's some other people in your family that are very dope as well. But I wasn't talking about them. I was talking about you at the time, and I was just giving you your flowers. That's all. But I did not mean to offend you. Unfortunately, though, like I said, once again, it was very difficult for me to take anything down or remove anything, because of, I think it was a collective effort to label me a terrorist, and so they started to it became very difficult for me to remove any content or whatever. Now, if it was on my website, then of course I would have been able, all I have to do is just, take it down or whatever, but it was not intended to offend you. It was intended to give you a compliment, okay, to a high degree. It was not meant to, it wasn't meant to make you feel any type of way. And I definitely wasn't trying to run an interference in anybody's program at all. And I think as time has gone on, I feel like I've put out enough content where it's like people have gotten a chance to get to know my personality a little bit more now. And I would like to think that people know that I always mean well, but I have, lately, it's been like, this has been such a journey for me, and I ain't gonna lie to you, it's been interesting, but I want to make sure that I will go on record, while kind of low-key off the record, as saying that I apologize to you, and I apologize to your family if anybody felt offended, but I don't aim to offend anybody. I never have. It's not my style. If I can't give you your flowers, if I can't give you your kudos, okay, then I won't say anything. And it's just that on that. I hope it was well received, but once again, if you'd like to reach out to me, my email address is contact@im-tyleahb.com. You are more than welcome to reach out to me, or have your people reach out to me, and we will set something up to where we can have a conversation. I do not have a problem with that. It does not have to be publicized. It could be completely private. You know, if you want to cuss me out or whatever the case is, you can. But just know that I don't ever mean anybody any harm. It's just not my thing. Right now, I'm going through a whole lot of shit in my life too. So it's like I'm really not trying to like deal with any type of negative energy at all. It's just not my thing. It never has been. Like I like to be happy and like celebratory and shit. I like to be like yes. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to be like. You'll never catch me turning my nose up at somebody, especially if I see them doing their thing and they doing it right, please. And half the time, if not most of the time, I'm minding my business anyway. All right, you guys, so I'll probably speak about a little bit more in a different way that ties into my episode 4 for my audio series, because I'm going to put it out there, but I wanted to take a little break, and I also knew that there were some other projects that were going to be coming out, and I recognized that there is kind of like, you know, when I put stuff out, people kind of pay attention to it, so I didn't really want to like run no type of interference or nothing like that. And my projects are very small projects. They're not, you know, mainstream or anything like that. So, and I'm still growing, and I'm still practicing, and I'm still trying to figure shit out. You feel me? So, so I felt like, you know, push it back a little bit and let other stuff happen. And you know, it's a whole wave right now, because December is a vibe by itself. It's just a vibe, period. So I'm like, you know, but it'll be coming out soon, you guys. Let me see. Is there anything else I want to say? I don't know. Let me see. If any of my content that I put out while I had Black Square, excuse me, you guys, because it's really cold outside, and I'm like, Lord, here we go. If any of my content that I placed on, let me reword it. If anything that I did with Beyond the Black Square interfered with any type of a important movement or anything like that was going on, that was not my intention. Never has been, and it never will be. But I'm also the type of person who I don't really pay attention to what else is going on, and I'm learning how to do that. It's like, okay, pay attention to what's being released, what's coming out, what's launching, so that when you drop your little tidbits, it doesn't clash with other people's projects or whatever. It doesn't make it seem, because, you know, I'm noticing that, I'm noticing how things can go, and it's like I can see how like content is kind of taken and used in different ways, and I'm like, oh, I see. Okay, so to try to avoid that type of a vibe from people, I try to just pay attention, or pay closer attention now. But back then, I didn't, because I was just starting out, and I didn't know, and people kept saying, just do it, just do it, just do it. You know, and I'm like, but no, I think I need to know a little bit more about this. And nobody wanted to teach me about how, like, social media etiquette. Nobody wanted to teach. It was just like a kind of a thing where it's like, if you really want to build this, then build it, and, you know, people will support you. And that's what I thought I was doing. I thought I was building something that people supported. I didn't think that I was building something that people were going to despise, because that wasn't the intention. So, you know, and then I also, it was a couple of other things that I, you know, spoke about, but I spoke about those, I believe last year in my Little Miss Accountability series, which can be found on YouTube, # Little Miss Accountability. I think it was on was that on Bentu Anuru? I think that was on Bentu Anuru. is also the same channel as another series that I put out called hashtag Vibe High with Ty, which I still have going on. I just turned it into a what do you call it? Like a vibe session that I haven't launched yet. So it's a vibe session. It's just like me just playing music or whatever. It's like no talking, just kind of like playing music. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I don't know. I think those are some of the things that I really, really wanted to touch on. I'm not big on using names and stuff. I hope people can understand that. I don't want to use names. I don't want to put names out there because it's not. People are really, really messy, and I don't feel like being put in nobody's mess at all. Okay, but I really hope that people can understand that I've always meant well. I've meant well since the beginning. But people just don't. For some reason, people really don't believe that I mean well. I have a good heart. I have a big heart. I do not believe in trying to offend people. I'm not trying to come for anybody's brand, nobody's business, none of that. I'm not into that. I'd rather congratulate you. I will never hate you. I will never look down. I will never turn my nose up. I will never try to sabotage anybody's business or their movement. If anything, I would rather celebrate you. That's more in alignment with my vibe and who I am. Okay. I hope everybody has a good evening. I am going to go and find myself something to eat around here because I'm hungry. But for the most part, I hope everybody enjoys the end of the year, and let's hope for the best for next year. Let's see what's going on. And I just want to say that I see some people out there who are doing an amazing job, and they look absolutely stunning. And thank you for representing us well. Real talk. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.